I'm Kerry. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. I organize a tribe that we get together every Friday. In fact, tomorrow afternoon, we'll get together and we'll discuss the market. And quite often I get a question about IPOs and how do I get involved in an IPO and how do I get involved in these early entrances into these fantastic ideas. And for the most part, that wasn't available until more recently. And you had to have some specific investment qualifications, and in fact, you still do. But there has developed a secondary market. But let's talk about first what an IPO is, what the advantages of it, how you learn about it, and how you can get potentially involved and get some of the discounts that are available. The one I really like is Airbnb. I think it just emerged out of several events that were happening. The first part of it was, of course, or not maybe as obvious as you might think, is the retirement of the baby boomers. The baby boomers were in 3-4 bedroom homes, nice neighborhoods, good cities, and they were empty nesters. And they wanted to retire, but they wanted some income and they wanted to be involved in the world. And so they opened their house up to people who were coming into town for events or whatever, particularly like if the Super Bowl was played there and all the hotels were booked up. Well, I'll open my house up and rent a room out, and I might even serve you some breakfast. So that's how the concept was put together. And then these young guys said, well, with the advent of the internet, we could build this and compete, or in fact, even do better than the hotel business, because in some cases, the hotel business couldn't handle the capacity. And that was the concept of Airbnb. But to grow, they needed money. And that's where we'll start right after this.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
So Airbnb is two guys who got an idea, and they promote this idea through social media, and they get Nita and I, this is a make-up story, to say, yeah, we'll open our house up, and we've got 3 bedrooms and 2 baths upstairs, and we've got a large dining room that we never use, and Kerry can cook breakfast, and we can bring these people in and create an income source that we previously never had. And we trust this website that they'll vet the people that they're coming in, and everything will go smooth. And that's how Airbnb was born. But over behind the scenes, they needed money. So what they did was they would invite major investors in, angel investors, and these angel investors were probably a part of the community where they started, and they said, we need $1 million to get this up and running, to build the internet platform, to create the graphics, and then to do some advertising digitally to promote it. And so these angel investors put up the money, and they got shares in the business, knowing that there would be other rounds of investment that would bring more money as the money was needed. So they end up, and these again are angel investors, financing the start of the company. Well, as the company grows, then they go to the JP Morgans and the BlackRocks, and they ask for bigger money. And again, that dilutes the shares of the first people, but it creates more shares, okay? So, but you and I are not invited into any of that. And that's pretty much the way it went. But as again, using Airbnb as an example, as it progressed through year after year, some of the employees had been paid in stock. And they've been at it now for 5 years, and they want a better life. And they want to sell some of their shares. So companies come in and say, look, I know there's not a big market. You can't go to JP Morgan, who financed some of the company, and sell your shares, but we'll buy them from you. Okay, and so these become a secondary market. So they come to the employees and say, anytime you want to sell your shares, come to us. We'll evaluate the current value of the market and we'll buy your shares from you. And so these companies build up a reservoir or an inventory of shares of Airbnb. And they just make it known to the public and anybody who might be interested. Because again, maybe some of these original angel investors from the community also want some liquidity and want to sell some of their shares before it becomes IPO and it goes onto the market. So we have the birth of companies like Disruptor. Okay, this is a company that I became aware of because I became aware they actually had an app that I could put on my iPhone and I could track these companies. They also have a website where they'll give me a YouTube, or it's a YouTube channel, where they'll give me background information, not only on the company, but on the founders and the whole industry as a whole. And so one of the companies that I was interested in is a company by the name of Graphcore. What is Graphcore? They are a startup. They are a potential IPO of artificial intelligence and chip makers. They are viewed as possibly NVIDIA's primary competition. They talk about Graphcore, they talk about weak AI and strong AI growing towards the computing power of the human brain. Okay, what I want to do is just walk you through where you'll find Disruptor's website, where you'll find the Graphcore video, where you become acquainted with it. Then I want to introduce you to their app. What does this mean? Well, this means that I'm now connecting with a company on an app that can give me timely information on Graphcore or any other company that they are involved in. What I've learned is they've done this with a number of other companies. One of them in specific is Airbnb. And as a result of their early entry, they have gotten some tremendous returns. We'll talk about that right after I show you where you can access this through their YouTube channel and how you can access the app. So let's go to the computer and look at their YouTube channel. Okay, this is the Disruptor app. And last week we looked at H2O AI, which is a artificial intelligence company. And I exposed you to that and showed you the basic format of how they present on their IPO. And then that leads you to their app. What I wanted to show you today was one of the companies that they have available in pre-IPO right now, and that is Graphcore. So let's click on that. Okay, here they go through kind of the history of artificial intelligence and how it was depicted in movies and such over the years. And then I want to run this up a bit. this takes us more to modern day in artificial intelligence and the development of chips and the introduction of Graphcore.
Had just started its journey, it was dismissed by major companies. How would a new startup get resources to create such software? But Nigel Toon and Simon Knowles, Graphcore's founders, remained undaunted. With their IPO, the British entrepreneurs focused on power and energy efficiency and not speed. And they succeeded. In 2020, the company unveiled its new AI processor, Colossus MK2 GC200 IPU, more complex than NVIDIA's. This machine contains
So that was some very important words they said, more complex than NVIDIA's. So that gives you some introduction to the YouTube channel and how they present it and how they feel that you need to take notice of this company and possibly it's something you want in your portfolio. So one way to do would be to sit back and wait and see if in fact it does IPO and you can buy in. But if you're more aggressive and you are a accredited investor, you would go, I would suggest you go and you look at their app, which I'll give you a link to, and you learn, as they're showing here, how their app works and what kind of information it gives you, and it then gives you an opportunity to buy it. Again, who are you buying it from? You're buying it from Disruptor. Who did they buy it from? The early on investors in Disruptor. Why are the early on investors selling? Because they have different financial needs. They maybe have been involved in this for a number of years and they want to buy a new house. And so they need to buy shares. This is the secondary market and this is where you can get in. So if that makes sense to you and if it has some appeal to you, first thing, watch the video. Disruptor, find the YouTube channel, watch it, then open up the app on your iPhone and we'll talk more about that. Okay, so that's where you get the background information on a company like Graphcore. And that's where you say, hey, this holds some interest, this whole concept holds some interest, I need to learn more. And that's when, if you're at that point, that's where you should probably then upload the Apple, on your Apple phone, the app. And what you're going to see when you get to the app are a number of screens. The first one is going to be an overview, and it's going to give you the representations of some of the exits. In other words, some of the companies that you could have bought through this app and through Disruptor, and what the margin of gain you would have had when they IPO'd. So you see here, DigitalOcean's, I immediately, my eyes go to Airbnb and Palantir. These are all companies that I know. DigitalOcean's, if you would have bought it through the app and then held it till the IPO, you would have made 378% on your money. Airbnb 105%, Palantir 133%. So those are some companies they've done in the past. I see Lemonade. Lemonade was a big one in 2021. You would have made 172%. But on the other hand, they're showing some companies, Acafito, you would have lost 100%, not a good deal. And then Optimizelli, you would have lost 70%. So they're open that there is some risk here. You need to understand what you're buying and what the potential is. Then you come over here and they're going to show you some screens of their current portfolio. And I've heard of Just Eat. I've heard of Masterclass. That's something I'm very familiar with. Now, this must not be up to date because I see Robinhood, and I know Robinhood has actually already IPO'd. I'm familiar with Rubik's. So you can see here there are a number of companies, and then here's H2O that they're available. And right now, they are making a offering available in Graphcore. So that was the video we watched. So what does this all boil down to? Well, what it does is it answers the question of, if I wanted to get involved in a pre-IPO, how would I get it done? Well, that's how you'd get it done. But you need to recognize that there are some blockades or some hurdles you need to jump. And they are that you have to be an accredited investor and be able to approve it. And that is that you have to have if you're single, an income of 200,000, and if you're married, 300,000. If you have to show investable assets of $1 million plus, and or a net worth of over $5 million. So this is a qualification. These are the hoops you have to jump through in order to get involved in the secondary market, where you can get access to stocks that you believe in, that you've researched, that you feel good about pre-IPO. And so I want to make that available, and I want you to take a look at it. And so in an effort to give you all the information I can, I want to share the research that I've done. I've written a white paper, and it's all you're going to have to do is go below the description where it says more. Go below there. You'll see the description what the description of the video is. And then there will be a link there. And that link will take you to a landing page where I'll ask you for your email address and your name, and you'll fill that out, and then you'll push the button that says download, and the white paper will come to you. So because this carries a level of risk that is above and beyond that of the normal stock market. And I say that because even though we think our government gets in our way a lot, they do a lot to protect us from the bandits that are out there, that are there to steal our cattle. I'm watching the movie on TV I think it's on Paramount, 1880, and there are bandits who steal the Conestoga wagon. People who are trying to get to Oregon, steal their cattle. Well, those bandits still exist. We call them the wolves of Wall Street or whatever today. And so we are protected from them. But this is pre-protection. So you have to prove that you are smarter than the average guy on the street, and that you have some background in the stock market, and that you can, in fact, make a good investment decision. So I encourage you to go to the white paper and learn, and then beyond there, go to Disruptor's app, and there's a link just below the white paper app so that you can find that and answer your questions. Is this something I want to get involved in? Particularly if you have a level of knowledge that is above and beyond the average bear, and you know after you watch the video that Disruptor shows you, this is something I want to get involved in. And I understand the risk, and I understand the industry and the opportunity better than most, and I want to take advantage of it. Okay? That's what this channel's all about. I'll do my research. I'll do my information. I'll plug in my past knowledge and experience as a financial advisor with Ameriprise, the top advisor in the country for a number of years out of 10,000, and I want to open these windows for you. I want you to think of this raptor as a tool that you can put in your toolbox. And when you want to learn more, to make a better decision, Disruptor is one of the tools that you can use, if it's appropriate for you. If it's not, that's okay too. But I want you to think of me as your guide to show you the way to solve the problems you have in your investment world so you can achieve your goals. Okay? That's what Best of Us Investors is evolving into. You're going to notice we're having different presenters because different people have different strategies and different desires and objectives. I'm a 77-year-old. My desires and my objectives are very different from those of a 27-year-old or even a 47-year-old. But I want to make this channel and this tribe a tool for you. Okay, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. This is good stuff. This excites me, even though, and again, it's what the kind of thing I like. It's giving me an opportunity to invest in companies that are going to change the way I live. Talk to you again tomorrow.